What's up, old school homies? Today we're going to talk about your musical superego. Yes, this is something that I made up in my head, obviously, but it kind of rings true, and it was a theory that I developed before I ever started playing music, that there was something that I had that I needed to get out by playing music. Otherwise, it would have been just fine to just listen to music, right? But for some of us, there's a difference. Like, some of us can just play covers too, but that's really not the type of musician that I am either. I feel that, like Stevie Ray Vaughan, I hate to be cliche about it, but he wants his instrument to speak for him and, be able, a lot of musicians want to be able to just express themselves with their instrument at any given time, which isn't totally ideal. I told you guys that jamming would be that, and songwriting would be better because you would be able to recite what you do, Reciting a jam is nearly impossible. So, I've seen it done. It's not like I haven't, but it's usually about songwriting. And when I do songwriting, I notice after I quit playing music for a few months and I tried to come back to play music, I heard the superego of my drum making, especially. Like every time I tried to make a drum beat, the same beat came out in different ways, but it was still the same beat. It was recognizable, even if it was a different part of the beat. I was like, no, this is related to the same beat that I just made, and I make another one. And I'd be like, no, this one is related to the last one that I just made. And I start to realize that it's all just additive, Like Frank Zappa's theory was that it's all just one big long bandwidth. You're just continuously playing a song ever since you started playing. And I buy into that. I do. I don't know his exact theory, but for me, I wanted to practice the fundamentals and be able to move around back and forth within the notes, knowing that I could decide which note to hit next, and I would know what it was going to sound like before I hit it. So that's something that requires a musical superego. You have to foundationalize your style, And for me, that's why I needed to make my own first album by myself, is to create a style for myself. And that would be something I could build off of, as long as I liked the very first album that I made, which I did. That band, it didn't work out, but I made another album by myself, which just keeps getting bigger. It's up to about 20 songs now. And now I notice that the techniques that I'm using, the first album I actually played bass. The second album I'm playing drum machine. I played drum machine first on the first album too, but I played drum machine and mostly keyboards on the second album, which sort of helped me identify my own sound, my own tones, my own techniques to get sound the way that I wanted it, just for me, not for anybody else. And I felt like if I had made enough songs and I liked the songs, there would have to be techniques within the songs that are repeatable. Like I can make another song using the same technique, maybe a different scale, maybe a different key signature, maybe a faster tempo or lower, but still I would have the memory of creating music. Therefore I could do it again. You know what I mean?